He's probably the guy. Let's take him.
I live here. I live right here. You have the wrong person.
I don't know who I'm looking for yet, but you're coming with us.
What you just heard is not a scene from a film. That is a real LAPD body cam recording. And the officer who said those words, "I don't know who I'm looking for yet," said them while already reaching for the handcuffs. The man being arrested was a black music producer named Antone Austin. He was outside his own Hollywood apartment taking in his trash cans. He had done absolutely nothing wrong. The suspect the officers were actually looking for was white. The woman who made the 911 call was standing right there telling them they had the wrong man. And the city of Los Angeles still fought for 2 years to keep that body cam footage buried because they knew exactly what it showed. This is the story of how probably became one of the most expensive words in LAPD history. In the next minutes, you are going to see exactly what those officers did, why the city spent 2 years trying to hide the footage, and what the receipt looked like when they finally had to face it. And we are going to talk about the 3 moments in this body cam recording that made Los Angeles settle rather than let a jury watch it. Drop a comment right now and tell me where you are watching from. And subscribe, because we follow the footage that cities try to bury. Stay with me, because what that 911 caller did next changes everything. Antone Austin was 42 years old. He was a music producer who went by the name Tone Stacks. He lived in a Hollywood apartment on Fountain Avenue, a busy street in one of the most recognizable neighborhoods in the world. He had lived there long enough to know his neighbors, know the street, and know exactly where his trash cans went every week. On the evening of May 24, 2019, Antone was doing one of the most unremarkable things a person can do. He was outside his building, pulling his trash cans in from the curb. No headphones in, no phone in his hand. Just a man and his trash cans on a warm Los Angeles evening, finishing a mundane household task before going back inside. His girlfriend Michelle Michaelwich was upstairs in their apartment. The evening was quiet. Nothing unusual. Nothing that suggested the next few hours would involve 2 jails, $57,000 in bail, and a federal civil rights lawsuit that would take 2 years to resolve. Then a patrol car rolled slowly down Fountain Avenue, and one of the officers inside looked at Antone Austin and said 4 words that are now part of a federal court record. The officers had been dispatched to Fountain Avenue in response to a 911 call about a man allegedly violating a restraining order. The call was vague. It gave no physical description of the suspect. It gave no specific address. It said only that the suspect was near a restaurant called Fat Sal's, about 3 blocks from where Antone was standing. The suspect was the white boyfriend of a neighbor. That detail had been communicated to dispatch. The officers knew, or should have known, that they were looking for a white man. Antone Austin is black. The body cam footage, which the city of Los Angeles fought for 2 years to suppress, shows the officers in their patrol car as they came down the street. It shows them spotting Antone. It shows one officer say he is probably the guy. It shows them pulling up. Antone asked them what was happening. He told them he lived there. He told them they had the wrong person. He pointed at his building. He was standing next to his own trash cans outside his own front door. One of the officers attempted to handcuff him. Antone, understandably, did not immediately comply with an order he had been given no legal basis to comply with. The officers became aggressive. And then, on the body cam recording, one of the officers said the words that would define this entire case. "I don't know who I'm looking for yet," said while in the process of arresting Antone Austin. The officer said on camera on his own body cam that he did not know who he was looking for, while arresting a man who was standing outside his own home telling him he had the wrong person. At what point in this stop do you think the Fourth Amendment was violated? Drop your answer in the comments right now. But here is the detail that took this story from outrageous to absolutely indefensible. Because while all of this was happening, while Antone was being forced into handcuffs outside his own apartment, the woman who made the 911 call was standing right there. And she tried to stop it. The woman who had called 911 was a neighbor. She had called because of her white boyfriend, the man who had allegedly violated a restraining order. She knew what he looked like. She knew Antone Austin. She knew the moment those officers got out of their car that they had the completely wrong person. The bodycam footage shows her at the scene. It shows her telling the officers that Antone was not the man they were looking for. She was a first-hand witness who had made the call, who knew the actual suspect, and who was standing 3 feet away from the officers saying clearly, "This is not him." The officers continued the arrest. And then Michelle, Antone's girlfriend, heard the commotion from their apartment upstairs. She came running out. She had barely had time to put on a robe. She tried to reach Antone. One of the officers turned and pushed her. She later said she fell completely out of her robe. Michelle was also arrested. Both of them, Antone and Michelle, were taken to LAPD's Hollywood station and then to a downtown jail. They were held for hours. The total bail they paid to get out was $57,000. $57,000. To get out of a jail they should never have entered, for a crime neither of them had committed, because an officer decided a black man taking out his trash was probably the guy. Antone Austin filed a federal civil rights lawsuit in April 2020. His attorney, Faisal Gill, called it racial profiling with no question. The lawsuit alleged wrongful arrest, excessive force, false imprisonment, and violation of Antone and Michelle's Fourth Amendment rights. And then the city of Los Angeles did something that told you everything you needed to know about what was on that body cam. They fought to keep it hidden. The city's legal team argued that releasing the body cam footage would have a chilling effect on police investigations, that making it public would somehow compromise future law enforcement activity. They argued against transparency for a piece of footage that showed their own officers admitting on camera that they did not know who they were looking for. U.S. Magistrate Judge Jacqueline Colgan disagreed. She ordered the footage unsealed. And when it became public in April 2021, it spread immediately. Because there it was unedited, 11 minutes long, showing every moment from the officers spotting Antone in their patrol car to the arrest to the girlfriend being pushed to the 911 caller trying to intervene. Every single thing Antone Austin had said about that night was on the tape. And the city of Los Angeles had spent a year trying to make sure nobody ever saw it. And now here is the moment in the body cam that Antone's attorney later said was the single most damaging thing for the city's defense. The moment that made Los Angeles decide a settlement was better than a jury. There were 3 moments on that 11-minute body cam recording that made this case legally indefensible for the city of Los Angeles. Moment 1. The patrol car footage. Before the officers even stepped out of their vehicle, the body cam captured them watching Antone from the car and one officer saying he was probably the guy. Probably. That single word, captured before any interaction, before any attempt to verify identity, is the definition of racial profiling on tape. An assumption made on appearance alone. Moment 2, the admission. "I don't know who I'm looking for yet," said during the arrest. Not before. Not as a reason to pause and verify. During. An officer acknowledging in real time that he had no confirmed identification of his suspect, while handcuffing a man who was telling him he had the wrong person. Moment 3. The 911 caller. The woman who had made the call, who knew the actual suspect, who was present at the scene, telling the officers directly that Antone was not the man they wanted. And the officers proceeding anyway. 3 moments, each one individually problematic. Together, They formed a Bodycam record that no city attorney wanted to put in front of a jury in Los Angeles. The lawsuit asked for at least $2 million. The city settled. The exact amount was not made public, but the case was dismissed with the settlement confirmed in court records in 2021. The city spent a year fighting to hide the footage, then settled when a judge ordered it released. Do you think a confidential settlement is justice, or is it a city buying silence? And should those officers still be on the force? Drop your answer below. Antone Austin's case did not happen in isolation. It happened inside a Los Angeles police department with a documented history of racial profiling complaints, use of force incidents disproportionately involving Black and Latino residents, and a pattern of fighting to suppress footage that showed what its officers were actually doing on the street. The Stanford Open Policing Project, which analyzed nearly 100 million traffic stops across the United States, found that Black drivers in Los Angeles were stopped at significantly higher rates than white drivers, even after controlling for the neighborhoods being patrolled. The disparity was consistent, documented, and had been presented to the LAPD in multiple reports over multiple years. What happened to Antone Austin on Fountain Avenue was not an anomaly. It was a data point. A man taking out his trash, sized up from a patrol car, described as probably the guy on the basis of nothing more than his presence and his race, arrested while the actual caller stood beside the officers telling them they had it wrong. Antone put it simply in an interview after the footage was released. Had the approach been different, they would have gotten my name. They would have found out this is where I lived. We're people. Let me tell you what this story is really about. It is not about a vague 911 call or a confused dispatch or officers who made an honest mistake under pressure. Those defenses collapse the moment you watch the body cam. The moment you hear probably. The moment you hear I don't know who I'm looking for yet. The moment you see the 911 caller standing right there saying wrong man. This story is about what happens when officers approach a Black man with a conclusion already formed and work backward from it. When the starting point is not who is this person and do I have reason to stop them, but rather he's probably the guy. When the assumption precedes the evidence. When the evidence, even when delivered by the person who made the original call, is not enough to override the assumption. Antone Austin paid $57,000 in bail to get out of a jail he should never have been in. He spent 2 years in a federal lawsuit fighting for footage that showed the world what he had said from the very first moment. He lived there. He was taking out his trash. They had the wrong man. The city of Los Angeles knew what was on that tape within days of the arrest. They chose to fight its release for a year rather than acknowledge what it showed. And when a federal judge ordered it unsealed and the footage went public and the settlement became inevitable, not one of the involved officers was criminally charged. Antone Austin was standing outside his own front door. He said, "I live here." He was right. And it took a federal lawsuit, a court order, and a settlement to make the city of Los Angeles officially agree with something a man told 2 officers while holding his own trash cans. If this story hit you the way it should, hit that like button and share this video. Share it with everyone you know who has ever been sized up before a word was spoken. Who has ever been the probably. Who has ever had to prove their right to be somewhere they already belonged. Drop a comment. Which of the 3 body cam moments made you the angriest? The probably? The I don't know who I'm looking for? Or the 911 caller being ignored? Tell me below. And do you think the officers involved should still be on the force? Drop that answer too. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Every week we bring you the body cam footage that cities fight to suppress and the receipts they pay when the courts say no. We don't let these stories disappear. We'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp out there, and remember, probably is not probable cause. I live here is not a crime. And taking out your trash should never cost you $57,000 and 2 years of your life.